Right. President Trump's sweeping new travel ban took effect overnight, barring foreign nationals from a dozen countries from traveling to the U.S., and citizens from 7 more countries are now facing new restrictions. There are some exceptions, including for Afghans who help the U.S. government. They fall under a special immigrant visa program. More than 50,000 Afghans have received a visa through that program since 2009. Joining us now is Sean Vandiver, the president of AfghanEvac, a nonprofit working to resettle Afghans who aided the United States. We made the distinction there that there are different visas for those who helped the United States. But from what you are hearing and learning, are those Afghans who helped the U.S. being hurt by these new restrictions?
Sure. First, thank you so much for having me on today, Sarah. Yes, it is so great that there's an exemption there, right? But even for those exempt under the executive order, there's a lack of implementation guidance that's causing chaos. This executive order creates this false sense of reassurance where it sounds great, but the underlying infrastructure, the Coordinator for Afghan Relocation Efforts Office at the State Department, that's been disbanded. It's going to go away by July 1st. And then there's the safest, most secure legal immigration system, Enduring Welcome, built hand in hand with veterans and civil society during the last administration. That's going away by September 30th. So even though on paper there's an exemption for Afghan SIVs, which is great, and their family members, in practice, they're not going to be able to make it here because the underlying systems that get them here are being dismantled.
You know, that is a really good point that you are making here. You're seeing the fallout from this yourself and your organization. Your organization also made this graphic showing all the things that are going away. What is the wider fallout from this new ban?
Well, sure. There are 250,000 Afghans that still need to come here, and SIVs are only part of the story, right? You've got folks in the refugee category who are prosecutors and lawyers who put the Taliban away. You've got partner forces who trained, fought, and bled alongside our service members. You've got family of active duty service members. There are 3,000 individuals who are family of our currently serving active duty service members who are trapped. And if your viewers want to help, they can get involved with AfghanEvac. Go to afghanevac.org/donate. We need your help to keep this fight going, because if we allow them to dismantle Enduring Welcome, these folks, these 12,000 family members, there's 12,000 family reunification cases that are never going to go back together if we don't have the American people standing up. And we know, I heard in your last segment that the American people are with the president on this. That's true, except in this case, 90% of the American public supports the ongoing relocation of Afghan wartime allies, and it's so important we get this right.
Look, one of the pushbacks from the administration and in the executive order as well is the Taliban now runs Afghanistan, and the U.S. says they're not competent or cooperative on issuing things like passports. They're not able to do vetting. How do you respond to the administration's concern?
Sure. So I'd say it depends on what day or which official you talk to, right? You've got Secretary Noam, who's out there waving the flag, saying with Khalilzad, saying that, oh, everything's fine, everything's safe there. And then on the other hand, you've got a level 4 travel advisory from the State Department and this visa ban coming out. I think the Trump administration needs to get their story straight on whether or not Afghanistan is safe. We're here to tell them, if they would take a meeting with us, that it is not safe to go to Afghanistan. We're getting pictures every day of the retributions that are happening. House Foreign Affairs Committee Chairman Brian Mast, just last January, organized a roundtable all about Taliban reprisals, and he went name by name on people who had been killed. It's up on our social media. I don't know why there's this disconnect right now, but what I do know is that it's not safe to go there. I know that it doesn't matter if the Taliban is vetting. We don't even recognize that government. What is true is that we have more information because of our 20 years at war in Afghanistan on all of these folks that are known to us. Everybody in this pipeline is somebody who is known to us because they were referred in or referred by an active duty service member.
You talked about
the truth is that every one of these folks has earned their right to come here.
What does this mean to the people in the U.S. now whose status is still pending, and the families who are waiting and hoping for those who have just about been cleared?
Sure. So let's take first the folks who are here. If you were here, you're generally safe if you got here on a durable status as a refugee or as an SIV. Generally, you're safe. The number one thing I can tell people is consult an immigration attorney. If you're already here, make sure your case is good. And they can go to AfghanEvac.org/resources to find it. For folks that are awaiting reunification or folks that are awaiting coming here, the good news is SIVs are exempt. Their immediate family members will be exempt. The rough news is that if you're in the refugee track, or if you're an asylee follow to join, or a follow to join refugee, if you filled out an I-730, or if you're waiting for humanitarian parole, we understand that CBP has issued guidance, and there's internal state guidance over the weekend that says those cases will be paused while the lawyers sort of figure it out. The biggest news is don't take any action. Don't respond to the scary emails that are coming from government before you talk to a qualified immigration attorney.
That is good advice. Sean Van Diver, thank you so much for explaining that to us and giving your expertise on what is happening now with these new travel bans when it comes to Afghans. Appreciate it. Kate?